It was the only video in the YouTube series that we didn't release. Basically, I thought I was going to...
Today's guest is the first ever man to run the entire length of Africa.
Robbed at gunpoint. There was many attempted robberies.
Running through 16 countries, covering 16,000 kilometers and over 19 million steps.
Guy came up to me with a big rock that had a load of spikes in it and was like, I'm going to lob this over your head if you don't give me £3.
From being held at gunpoint.
And then 2 guys on a motorbike came. I had no water. I was really dehydrated. Went with them. I was like, if I'm not back with the boys in like half an hour, then I know it's bad news. And then I ended up being on the motorbike for 7 hours. Probably the toughest few days of my life.
To having to survive day by day with nothing but a van and the open road.
Speaking of wanking, how did you manage with that?
That's a big question.
Because
once a week kind of...
Treat yourself.
Little pick me up.
Little pick me up.
It's like a little Sunday roast. Fucking run a chicken and a wank.
This is single-handedly one of the greatest human accomplishments of all time.
Did you dabble in any jungle drugs whilst you were there?
There was one time.
Welcome back. This is it. Chip was telling me that he's nervous now since I did my half marathon. He's nervous about doing his. Because the way I just rocked up, completed it, walked off, had a beer.
Yeah, but No, I'm nervous about getting over the line, you know.
You will get over the line.
I will though.
I'm letting you know now. No, I'm not even joking. If you don't get over the line,
can you celebrate? I want to be celebrated. I want it to be.
I'll celebrate you, bro.
I want to be celebrated.
I can celebrate for you.
It'll be an achievement for me.
Yeah, it is achievement for everyone, like I always said.
Yeah.
Anyways, guys, look, we've got...
bottle job.
Yeah. Congrats on your one, though. You dug deep, bro.
All right, guys, look, we've got somebody that I would argue that they dug deep. I want to just say that if someone challenged me to run the length of Africa, I think I would do it quicker.
Yeah, he's all right. He's done a couple half
Like, you're telling me it took almost a year
That's crazy.
to run Africa.
I don't have that kind of time.
If you look on a map, the UK is almost the same size as Africa.
That's crazy.
Anyways, guys, it is none other than Hardest Geezer.
Yes!
Yes.
There he is.
Absolutely amazing.
Welcome. I was thinking before you rocked up, by the way, I was thinking when I met you, because we haven't met before, I was like, damn, like, how do you even say congratulations for something like this? Do you just, is it like, all right, mate, well done? Or is it do you just keep it simple? But,
well, you know what? We were in the lift coming down to our basement, and this guy literally just, I reckon, does everybody just come up to you now? Because it's one of those things where you've been all over the news, and it's one of those feat that everybody goes, did you hear about that bloke that ran the length of... Like, it's one of the in the office, everybody just goes,
yeah,
oh, do you know about is it been a mad change?
It's definitely been a mad change. Sahara Desert back into London was like, whoa. Proper. I mean, I don't help myself. Like, I'm so recognisable with the hair and the beard and everything. But yeah, mate, people are very nice. Can't complain.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, to be fair, if I'm walking and see a guy with a fucking massive ginger beard, you just spot you a mile away.
Yeah.
Like, genuinely.
But yeah, no, look. Unbelievable achievement. Look, we've been so excited to do this podcast. Literally since you announced it, literally, I remember we were all here where they're like, when he's done, he's going to have the maddest stories. And so, just the whole time we sort of like tracked it. And even throughout the podcast, it's been quite good because we sort of given our own updates on your journey.
I thought he was dead.
Yeah, we did.
There was a time where I was like, that bro I don't know if he's out there anymore. we were stressing, worrying, tracking your Strava, pulling it up.
Yeah, it went blank for 14 days.
He liked to tweet.
Sahara,
yeah. So 14 days, you must have been going in and out of signal all over the place.
We didn't have any signal for that whole stretch.
Yeah.
Wow.
There was like no roads, nothing. It's pure sand everywhere. It's gone.
So you actually, and this sounds so stupid, but for the most part, even through deserts, they tend to have like roads that go through.
Yeah.
There's just you're just sand.
Nothing.
Is that not really difficult to run on?
Yeah, it's shit.
Yeah, really shit.
Really shit, yeah. But I mean, it has its pros because the one thing that was good about that is because there is no road, I just straight lined the route.
Okay.
So like it was quite efficient from a distance point of view.
Yeah.
It's kind of the only positive, but...
So do you have an accurate number of kilometers that you did it in, like the exact amount?
That or the whole thing?
The whole thing.
I don't know exactly. I think it was. I mean, I could just look up the stats. I don't know. It's like 16,300 kilometers ish.
I would love to know what the straight line distance is versus that, because obviously going through a road must like triple it or something.
Half, I reckon. Probably even less.
I guess like it'd be good to start a little bit from the beginning of the whole thing, and like, look, I've knuckled down. If you haven't already got your popcorn, like get the popcorn. I'm here for a long time and a good time. So I'd love to just hear how does, and I understand you will have answered this question a number of times, but I'm sure there's some viewers that haven't heard it. But how does somebody decide to do this particular challenge?
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, you're looking.
I think. For me, I've done a few things already. So I did like the Istanbul to London run in 2019, like Paul de Carter Marathon, a few other bits and pieces. And this, I'd had this idea for a while, and I was like, Africa, the full length has never been done before. It's a big continent, like it's not very well traveled to. It will be like the best adventure ever. It's going to be crazy. And I was like, all right, I'm keen. Like, then you start diving into it and trying to figure out like, is the Sahara crossable? Is the jungle crossable? What's the crack with all of these 16 countries? Can I get into them all? Blah, blah, blah. But yeah, I mean, I decided probably about 4 years ago that I was like,
oh, really? So this has actually been a long time in your mind that this is something that you wanted to do.
Yeah.
And so how long did it take for you to get things in place, get them ready? I also imagine that it also, not only did it take a while to prepare, but you were also doing probably quite a lot of it on the fly as well as you were doing the journey.
Yeah, mate. I mean, honestly, I always said the hardest part was getting to the start line. I was like, if I get to the start line, it's done. But like, I just need to get to the start line. And like for me, it was the biggest headaches was like, how am I going to get the money?
Really?
Could not fathom. Took me ages. Eventually we ended up going, right, content is the key that's going to unlock the door. We make good content, brands will give us money, then we can spend the money on the adventure. So but then, I mean, it's all well and good saying that, but like then actually going and making the content that's good and doing all that is a whole nother, as you boys well know, it's a whole nother ball game, and it doesn't just happen overnight. So that kind of took years.
How much money did you need, or did you set yourself a goal like, I need this amount of much money to complete this challenge?
It changed. It started with one number and it finished with a very different number. With? So at the very start conception of the idea, I said, like, I always did things pretty cowboy, like back to basics. I was like, look, 20 bags, I'll get it done.
Fucking hell, man.
20 bags, I was like, 20 bags, I'll get it done. And then like the final number, and I don't know the exact final number, but it's more like 250, 300.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
And we still did it pretty cowboy. Do you know what I mean?
You did.
We weren't splashing.
No.
You had issues, didn't you, getting the van over?
Yeah. So what actually happened is I met a mate of a mate who like made a ton of money in crypto.
Yep.
And I persuaded him to give me 50 bags to like get the thing going. I was like, 50 bags, that's more than enough. Like, sweet, we're going to be good. But what happened is we had like this other kind of production team that were working with us, and they were like, okay, we're going to sell the doc. We're going to make a doc and we're going to sell the doc first. So like, that will give you all the funds that you need for it, blah, blah, blah. And, you know, things happened. It didn't kind of work out how we initially thought, but because of that, we delayed the mission about 5 or 6 months, burned through a shit ton of money, ended up on the start line with about 10 bags.
Oh, no.
Oh, so you just said like, screw it. Like,
yeah, I was like, I just got to the point like, I'm starting, don't care.
Yeah.
And just tripled down on the, like, we're going to bang this on socials, and then we're going to get brands that will sponsor it, and then they'll pay, and we will be able to fund the mission. But 10 grand basically was about 4-5 weeks.
And that's how far that got you.
Yeah.
And was there a point like during the beginning of the journey where you were like, right, money's coming low here, maybe not got our first sponsor in? Did you get to that point?
Yeah, I mean, that mostly came before.
Yep.
So we were running really low on money, and we were going to start at the northern tip of Africa and come down, and then Algeria denied our visas, and it was like, I remember being in the Algerian consulate in Acton, and the guy said, "Nah." I was like, "Bruv, I'm devastated." Like, I was like, this might be game over here, because we've just barely got any money, and we have to get everything to South Africa now instead of Tunisia.
Did they say why they denied it?
Yeah, basically we wanted to go through this Sahara region that was on the border with Mauritania. It's like not many tourists go there at all, and you have to get like special permissions and all this security stuff, and that border, it wasn't open to tourists. It was just, they were like, basically, we don't want to chance it.
Really?
Yeah.
So you then, at that point, you realize, right, we've got to like flip this on its head, start the other way round, South Africa, and work your way up to Tunisia. But no matter what, you knew you were going to have to speak to Algeria.
At some point, we're going to have to crack this Algeria puzzle.
Yeah.
I was just like, future problem.
Yeah. That became quite a big thing though when you eventually did get there on Twitter, because it was like the whole community was kind of rallying for you to get that.
And everything.
That was
bro, do you know how it looked like? We could talk about that Algeria stuff now. I mean, I remember, because it was really like you were online. It was your first big like campaign for, if this doesn't go through, this is why is it that, was there not like an extended route you could go around? Like, why was this so important?
Well, like to get to Tunisia, you have to either go through Algeria or through Libya.
Yep.
Libya. I mean,
well, that does not interest you at all.
I think it's even harder to get into than Algeria.
Right.
Just from a practical point of view, I'm pretty sure when I did the research, and it is out of date now because it's about a year and a half, 2 years old. Like you couldn't get a tourist visa to Libya. It was like business visas only. Like basically, Algeria is an easier visa to get than Libya. Yeah. And then to get to Libya, you also had to go through Chad or
just loads of different. Yeah. It was just even harder to do that route, pretty much.
Basically, this was the easiest route, and it was still really hard.
So, how did it end up working in your favor? Like, how did you end up getting that visa? Because pretty much the whole of Twitter, at least that I was seeing, was backing you. Everybody was like emailing like MPs and all sorts. Elon Musk tweeted out, like, what was that like?
Crazy. So like, we were thinking about it for a while. It was always in the back of our heads that like, we needed to crack this thing at some point, and it got to the point where we were coming up with like these elaborate plans to get like Mauritanian residency, and then kind of
a citizen,
get a little gap out there just to go through,
backdoor it. Like somehow we were coming up with all of this stuff, and I just said to the boys, I was like, I think we just Hail Mary this, like get it out on socials and just like put them under the cosh a bit and see if they see if we get a nibble. Yeah. And we did.
The greatest nibble of all time, the Elon Musk nibble.
Yeah. But like I was like, this is it. We either get this done legit, or we're trying to do some.
Yeah, like here, they even tweeted out. So this was the embassy tweet saying, "Hi, Hardeskeezer, please submit your visa application from where you are located. Our missions will grant you a courtesy visa on the spot. You can submit your application either to our embassies in Bamako, Dakar, or some other gaff."
You didn't fancy that one.
No. And then it gets even more crazy. So yeah, long story short, they actually reached out to you on X.
I was just about to say that makes it, that's so funny, because they're like, you know what? Let's take advantage of this and let's publicly announce the visa instead of just dropping you a little message like, "Hey,
we'll sort you.
We'll sort you."
Right,
let's do this on Twitter.
Yeah, and then I got an email shortly after that from someone at the embassy saying the president of Algeria himself was like, "Do it."
Yeah.
No way.
Oh man.
So did you have to do anything in return? Were they're like, "We'll give you this visa, but
we want 2 Insta stories."
Here are your list of deliverables, boys. Get after it. Nah, they actually didn't. They were sound. I mean, the only thing is that we had a police escort the entire time we were there.
Yeah.
I think that was just because like they were like, make sure these boys are
like nothing bad can happen to you, because that's such a terrible.
Is it a rough country?
Nah, mate, not even. Honestly, I've never felt safer. I mean, I did have a police escort the entire time, but I think like it's a Muslim country, and they don't have like many foreign people there. It's quite closed. But we were there for most of Ramadan, and like obviously it's the holy month, and everyone was unreal. They were so nice. They were feeding us. Honestly, I had to like run away from people that were trying to feed me. They were like insisting that I would come into their gaff and eat their food.
Wow.
For free.
Were you able to
insisting?
Were you able to eat in the daytime when it was Ramadan? Or was that...
like they didn't mind. Like they understood.
Understanding
like,
what the sitch is.
Yeah.
How did you find like the whole food situation out there? Because obviously you're going through. I mean, let's be honest. British food is probably very different from what you're used to out there.
I love British food, man.
Is that what you've taken away from it?
I love it so much. It's the best. It's so great.
So when you're going out there, did you take supplies? Did you have stuff sent out to you? Were you?
So obviously we had Huel, which like that was like 50% of my diet.
Yep.
Which was a great foundation, but I was eating local stuff as well, and got food poisoning a lot.
I was gonna say, I bet you got
must have shit yourself so many times.
Fucking unlimited times, bro.
Keep water falling.
It was it was just daily occurrence that I'd be like farting, going.
That band must have fucking
just
honked in there.
Please no follow through. Please no.
Did you? Actually, you're the type of guy that happily own up to this, because I saw a TikTok of a guy shit himself in a marathon. You must have shit yourself.
Yeah. Multiple times, like lost count.
Really? Yeah.
That
is mad. Was there anywhere like with the food that you went to and you're like, whoa, this place has incredible food? Okay.
Fair enough. Honestly,
just thinking about the fish and chips when you go.
There was definitely places where the food was like pretty good. Like South Africa, obviously.
Yeah.
Food there is like pretty similar to Europe, and then there's parts of Nigeria where the food was good. It was just bare spicy. Them lot go crazy for it, man. I was saying to the woman at one counter where I got some rice and stuff, I was like, not spicy. I'm a pussy with spicy food.
Yeah.
I was like, not spicy. She was like, oh no, don't worry, not spicy. Till one mouthful, head's gone. Lips going, eyes going.
No.
Yeah.
To be fair, you're the same, innit, Cal, pretty much.
What are you talking about, bro? I love spice.
He don't.
Exposing myself as the biggest white boy ever.
No, but the food's probably nice, but it's just, if you're constantly shitting yourself, it's hard to be like, I'm loving this.
And especially like on average, how many kilometers were you getting through a day? Roughly.
It was 46 on average for the whole 352 days.
46. So that's just over a marathon a day, essentially.
Yeah.
Which is, and what was your longest day?
110.
Fuck.
Oh my God. So you're just shy of like 3 marathons in a day.
Fuck.
Wow. What was that? So can I just ask, like, prior to this, you did mention that you'd done a few challenges.
Yeah.
And you were obviously, a good runner at that.
Yeah.
Were you like a special run? Like, were you a top tier runner? Like, where would you classify yourself in terms of running ability before you actually took on this?
Well,
challenge?
it's kind of, my running thing is very niche. I'm not really running like, I'm not Kipchoge or Mo Farah, none of them boys. I just keep going.
Yeah.
But I could just plod.
You're just mentally deranged.
It's mental though, because you're obviously one of the best in the world at this kind of running. Like, you literally
so niche. Very, very niche. Yeah.
So it's just like you've gone from, being at the pub with the fucking boys. One day you've gone, I'm going to go for a run.
Yeah.
Now you're sat on this couch. You're the best at this style of running. Like, it's not adding up to me. Something's not making sense.
Yeah, I think though the thing that I am lucky with, that probably would get a few people, is the injury stuff. Like, I don't get injured that badly.
Yeah.
Which is helpful.
Yeah, I mean, you had what was it? Is it rhabdo? Have I just completely fucked
No,
up?
No, that was when I was pissing blood. I don't think it was rhabdo. We're not really sure we never found out what it was.
Yeah, I remember that.
Can you explain that? Because I saw the video from there and I was there like, this is where he dies. I'm in a group chat with the boys. Like, you don't make it out from this stuff.
Boys.
What was that?
Don't know.
So you just woke up one day and you were literally pissing blood.
Like any other day, just running along.
Yep.
Like, get in the bush. Oh, blood.
Were you worried at that point? Surely.
I was a bit like,
yeah.
I don't think that's good.
How far in was how far in was that again?
Not even that long either. It's like day 30. No, like day 40 maybe.
Oh fuck.
Yeah, day 40. I was like,
I've got 300 more days of this.
Then I thought I might just go away.
Yeah.
You know, as these things do sometimes. And then it didn't. 5-6 days later, I'm still pissing blood.
Oh shit.
Like, should probably go doctor.
And did you go doctor?
Right?
And they were there like,
He said the thing that we all knew he'd say, stop running. I went, all right. And then
went back. Kept running.
And then like I was feeling pretty weird. And I think I took like 2 days. He was like, you need to stop running, otherwise you're going to go. I was like, all right. It took 2 days. And I was gutted about that because I wanted to do the whole thing with no rest days, but I was like, maybe we have to just sit that ego down for a sec.
Yep.
Took 2 days and then stopped pissing blood and I was fine.
Yeah.
So I guess probably the right thing.
Just something like that. Yeah.
And like obviously when something like that happens, like you're in the middle of fucking Africa, you need a doctor. Like it can't be that easy to just go and find one.
Now, I mean, luckily we was in Namibia, which is still like pretty well developed country. Yeah. So it was accessible and they could do some tests and stuff. But, you know, that there was definitely some places where that just wouldn't have been possible.
This is an advertisement from BetterHelp Therapy Online. Okay, so it's time for a quick ad break. And this time it is from BetterHelp. Let's be honest, guys. Everybody gets stressed at some point.
Of course. Yeah.
Are you stressed right now in life?
Not like right now. But, you know, like when I get a call from you, I'll be stressed. Like, damn, like, leave me alone.
Exactly. So if you do find yourself getting stressed, which is an absolutely normal thing to go through, then it's important to talk about these things, to seek out therapy and to really speak through things. And we have found the perfect people to help you do that. It's incredibly important that you get things off your chest. If you just bottle things up, I'm telling you, it's a recipe for disaster. Eventually, it's going to spill over, and that is not what you want.
A problem shared is a problem halved.
Great point, Chip. I often feel like when people think about therapy, they think of some big traumatic event, and that's what it takes in order to go speak to a therapist. But in reality, I actually think it's better if you are doing it bit by bit, and that way you're not waiting for one big build up and then almost like an explosion of emotions. Instead, you're dealing with it as time goes on and getting things off bit by bit and speaking through them, because getting things off your chest is single-handedly the most important thing that you can do when it comes to dealing with your own emotions, whether that be stress, maybe just sadness in general, or anxiety, whatever it is. Therapy is certainly one of the ways that can help you out.
So if you are thinking of giving therapy a go, then we would definitely recommend BetterHelp.
The good thing about BetterHelp is that it is entirely online. So if you're not comfortable about doing things in person, then this is absolutely perfect for you, because not only does it help with that, but it also helps with flexibility and being able to work around your schedule.
All you need to do is actually just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a registered therapist. And if you want, and you don't particularly like that therapist, or you feel like it's not working out, you can switch therapists at any time, free of charge.
BetterHelp actually have over 1,000 therapists already in the UK, which is fantastic because it means you get people that have a wide variety of expertise in different areas of mental health. Our listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/fellas. That is BetterHelp.com/fellas for 10% off your first month. You had like how big was your crew that you went out there?
Pretty small. We had I have 3 boys.
Yep.
Pretty much the whole way. We chopped and changed a few times with 3 boys there.
Yeah. And what did they like bring to the table? I probably had one particular note here about a fella named Gus.
Oh, mate.
And so Gus had actually
what a bloke.
Yeah. And he'd actually cycled the length of Africa. Is that right?
Yeah. So he cycled to like Pakistan, then he cycled like from Africa like up and down. Geezer's an absolute unit. He was a paratrooper in the Dutch military.
Fucking hell.
Mate.
Oh, yeah.
Honestly, you should get him on here because he's like hilarious.
Good lad.
Yeah. I can imagine having somebody like that on your team, though, must be such a relief because you know this bloke has been through some shit.
Yeah, mate. His mantra was fuck. Like he would say it. So you need to get him. Like fuck you, fuck your feelings, you fucking dickhead. He was not joking. It was unreal.
Really?
That's the kind of cat like.
You need that.
I need that a bit because like there'd be a few days in there, you know, I'm wake up in the morning going, boys, you know, feeling a bit sorry for myself and all these type of things. You need to come in and be like, you're a pussy. I'm like, all right.
Back on the road, another 46 kilometers.
How did you meet him?
I literally put an Instagram story out, I think, saying I'm trying to recruit some people. Chuck me an email, and he chucked me his job application in bullet points. I went, I like him. Belled him up. He had very few words to say. I was like him even more. And then I was just like, mate, you're in. He spoke spoke French, Dutch, German, English, bit of Portuguese.
French would have helped you out there.
Yeah.
Because quite a lot of French-speaking countries, isn't there?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh,
so you had him in your team. And what was his role on the...
He came in basically to do logistics.
Yeah.
And just... I mean, everyone in our team had about 7 different job roles in the end because there's only three of them. But he ended up learning how to take photos, shooting stuff for the docky, literally everything.
Unreal. Yeah. And then who else did we have in that team? So we had Gus.
So the team that we finished with was Gus, Jamie, and Stan.
Yeah.
And Stan and Jamie were like editors for YouTube. So they shot and edited, uploaded to like about 20-25 minute videos a week on YouTube. It's pretty good going.
By the way, fair play for getting them up with the internet out there.
Oh, that must be such a ball. Like
dog shit. That you think the conditions there would like be in a sandstorm on the side of the van, just 3s and 4s getting it in. And
3s and 4s, is that what we're calling them? Not 1s and 2s. Those are the 3s and 4s.
And like the quality of the videos was fucking decent.
No, it was good, man.
You know,
it's impressive.
They got a lot better as they went on.
Yeah.
I noticed that. Because when they first started, I won't lie, I was there like, I hope they get better. Yeah. I was looking, not in a mean way, but genuine, because I was there like, this is such a sick thing that you can document, and they did. And mate, we were all watching that final video, and that was just that's a tearjerker. That one,
bro, I cried, man.
Did you get the last tune composed for the vid?
Yeah.
I saw it in the description. I was like, no way they've had a tune made.
Yeah.
And it was a banger as well.
It was sick.
I was well impressed.
Nah, they smashed that.
Got me thinking I'm not doing enough now.
Stan, I was like, that shot. There was a shot of like, it was kind of like a close up of me. Like you can see I'm like bare emotional coming in.
The slow mo one.
Yeah. And I was
right
like,
the end.
you killed it with that. Bro.
So good. And then the finale shot where you just kind of dive into the water and it all ends. I was like, damn, this is emotional.
Yeah.
It was really good, man.
Yeah.
Well, shout out to the boys for that one.
Can I just say the movie making's developed from these days? Have you seen this?
This was all me, bro.
Running from Asia to
editing right here at the end. Wait, where is it?
Nah, I'm feeling the aspect ratio's going. No.
Look at that, that's a masterpiece.
This is it.
Wait for it. Wait for the overlay.
Yeah.
Class.
Oh, what a time.
Nah,
that's amazing.
No, man.
Oh, mate. No way. That's
so good.
Do you ever look back at any of your vlogs?
Yeah. Just similar vibes, bro.
Yeah.
Some fucking howlers.
Some serious shockers.
Wait, when did you boys start YouTube? Because you've been in the game for a minute.
10 plus years.
2010 I started.
Wow.
So like 14, 15 years ago now. Yeah.
Ago, man. Just
that's
crazy.
Videos,
pissing.
Yeah, it was ages ago. Did you find yourself watching a bunch of like YouTube stuff out there on your downtime, or is it really just like run, sleep, run, like, and that was just it?
Pretty much.
Yeah. There's no time to go to like a roller coaster park and nothing. You didn't make a holiday of it, did you?
Nah. I sat down the other day and I was a bit ill. I think I'd done too much since I was back, and I started throwing up. I was like, all right, I'm going to have a day to chill. And I watched like the David Beckham thing documentary.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, wow, this is kind of crazy just to sit down and watch something. And yeah. Nuts. I haven't watched anything for ages.
God, mate, there's been a lot of bullshit happening while you're gone. So
you ain't missed much.
Yeah.
There's a lot of degeneracy and brain rot.
Exactly.
By the way, I was thinking about this. I just want to know this question. Was there ever a time where you would struggle with like a 5K?
Yeah.
Like genuinely.
Yeah, 100%, mate. Like I couldn't.
That gives me hope.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like I couldn't. I remember when going out for a couple runs when I was like pretty fat back in.
Must be years
like
ago.
8 years ago.
Yeah.
I couldn't run like 1K in one go.
Wow.
You know,
Yeah.
hard to picture.
That's it.
Yeah.
Well, the way you got into running was you were in a nightclub, weren't you?
Yeah.
Wait.
Can you tell that story?
So I was in. Don't know if you boys ever been down to Brighton.
Yeah.
But the Arch,
nice.
in Arch.
By the
I don't know if
seaside.
it's still there. Yeah, it's right on the seafront. But I was in Arch about 3 a.m. and I was just looking around like, this is mad. I need to change my life around here. And ran home. It's like 11 miles. Took me ages.
Were you peppered?
On the pavement on the way. Yeah, absolutely wasted. Yeah,
That's fair enough.
Let me tell you something. Yeah. See, when you're drunk, I have like I would just want to run when I'm drunk, and then when you run as well, it feels like going so fast.
So fast.
It feels so quick, and time goes like that as well. Like you would have just like started it and been like, "Oh,
I'm Sonic right now." Just,
Did you drink much when you were out there?
Nah, couple nights.
Couple beers.
Christmas Day.
Yeah,
probably the heaviest.
What'd you do for Christmas Day?
Some of the chickens, I heard.
Wait, what?
Some of the chickens.
Chickens knocking about. We was in the Guinean jungle.
Guinean jungle.
As you do.
Christmas Day, pretty sure there was no signal all day. Ran a marathon. Gus got some chickens from a couple of days ago from a local. And we kept them for Christmas Day, you know. Then
big treat.
Chickens got sacrificed. And we all had
Don't laugh at that.
Yeah.
Where you presented it.
We had chicken for dinner. And a bit of pastiche flying about. It was a big fire.
Who cooked up the chicken then?
Mate, Gus, honestly, Gus
is him.
Gus is just YouTubing how to butcher up a chicken.
Fuck.
Mate,
watching Outdoor Boys.
That's
Gotta be
so
done
raw.
though, you just snap your neck.
How did you kill it then?
A video game.
So the killing thing was, you know, we tried our best. It was a little bit messy, which we're very sorry about.
Hey,
you had
were
to
in
survive,
the jungle.
man.
It was a survival thing.
Yeah, look,
okay.
Hunter-gatherer, man.
Yeah. We had a few different knives, none of which were sharp enough.
Oh god,
I ended up getting a hammer. Just I wanted to put the chicken out of its misery, but the execution was poor from my behalf, so I apologise.
So the chicken suffered. Fucking hell.
Really tried my best on that. Ended up getting a machete and on the wood block and just
Was that your first point of call, a machete?
Yeah, well we
You looked at the machete and gone, let me get this hammer a go first.
Yeah. You know, you live and learn.
Did you find yourself doing like that type of stuff a lot? Just not in terms of like sacrificing chickens, but having to get your own food in that way?
Yeah, kind of. Like it depends. It depended where we were. Like different countries and different how rural it was, depended on what we could kind of get. But Gus handled most of that kind of stuff. I was just running pretty much all the time.
And what was it? One van?
We had two in the end.
2 vans.
We started with one.
Yeah.
Then when we got to like Congo and stuff, the van just wasn't making it over some of these roads. We had to go through this big mountain volcano region with dirt roads in Cameroon, Nigerian border, and the van was never getting there. So I got 4x4 and
did that. Yeah. Oh, okay, sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unreal motor actually. It's
really?
got like a camper thing on the back and that like.
So where are the motors now?
Tunisia.
Still just out there?
I just left, basically finished the run on the 7th.
Yep.
Soft player playing in the evening, so got about that. Then 8th, I just back-to-back media pretty much all day.
Yep. I saw that.
And then
they ran a train on you, my friend. Let me tell you that. I woke up the next day, I was there like, this man has been putting through it.
Yeah. But I was all good until I was like, oh, you're on GMB at 8 a.m. I was like, yes, sound.
Fuck it,
you must have just been there like, yo, I want 1 day of doing fuck all.
I had like 2 hours sleep. I was like, right, just soldier through the day, get it done. Yeah. Then, so that was the 8th, and then the 9th we flew home, and I literally came home with my sliders, didn't even bring any shoes, sliders, phone, wallet, that was it, left everything in Tunisia, still there.
Amazing.
Yeah.
You know.
Maybe you should auction that off.
Mate, the van's done.
Oh, is it actually?
Done.
Yeah,
what? That's legs or
can't even get in that. Like, if only drives in first gear now.
Fucking hell,
it's really finished.
Yeah, that is next.
And what about the second one? Or did you not?
Second one's good to go still.
Oh, fucking hell, it's out there, man.
She's a beauty.
Yeah, we need to get her back.
Get her up on auto trader.
Touchland in the UK, man.
That's iconic.
So one of the things that you actually brought up was your girlfriend.
Yeah.
And I'm curious because I told my girlfriend that I wanted to go to North Korea, and she almost beat the shit out of me at the idea of it.
Yeah.
I can only imagine what response I would get if I said, by the way, I'm fucking off for a year.
Yeah.
And there's a good chance, because like there was a very good chance that you actually didn't make it back. And I think that is something that people don't really think about.
Yeah.
In the sense that you probably should have died on this journey, but you didn't. So can you explain how did the girlfriend convo go? And what was that like?
Fortunately for me, when I met her, this was already in the works. So it was already like, look,
she knew.
This is part of the package.
But this is happening.
If you want this, got to deal with this.
Yeah. It did complicate things. It took me like ages to get her out on a date, like 3 months to get a date.
Yeah.
So that was long. But nah, she's the best, man. She was so supportive throughout. We spoke on the phone pretty much every day. Like, you boys both got misses, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. And what I actually didn't anticipate, because I would, if you'd have asked me 2 years ago, like 14 months away from each other, like, is that how you're gonna make that work? Oh, nah, it's never working. Like, let's be real, it's not actually gonna work. But we actually had so many conversations that we probably never would have had if we were in each other's company every day, because, you know, like, all we can do is chat on the phone, really. So spoke about so much stuff. Very grateful for her. She's great.
And did she at any point come out and visit you? No. Did you not want that?
No, we did try and plan a couple of things. The trouble is things were going wrong all the time, so it's so hard to anticipate when I was going to be anywhere. And then it got to a kind of point in the mission where we were like, so near the end now, like, let's just wait.
Yeah.
Because, you know,
She was at the finish line.
yeah, it's also like a bit of a danger thing. Like, I want to make sure she's safe, and like, she's traveling by herself.
Yeah.
As a woman in Africa, it's a bit different than bowling around Europe. And
Yeah, that's fair enough. That makes sense.
I heard a rumor, could be complete cap, but you asked her out like the day before you left for the mission.
Yeah. So basically, we'd been seeing each other for ages, because like this, I was planning this whole Africa thing for the whole time we'd known each other. It was a bit like, you know, didn't know how we were going to make it work.
Yeah.
And then then we left, and I was like, right, let's go for it.
So you just asked her, like, come on. Yeah, I love that, you know. That's a ballsy play, that one as well.
Yeah.
Like.
Good story, man. One for the grandkids, that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I asked her out and I fucked off to Africa.
Yeah. But that's it. So, and then literally the next time you saw her was at the finish line or around
Literally at the finish line.
Damn.
Oh, that's sick.
That must have been a crazy link up.
It was crazy.
a mad link up.
What's up, girl?
Mate, it was so weird. Like, gave her a big hug, and then like looked up at her. I was like, wow, it's like 50 cameras.
Yeah, because it wasn't like an intimate moment. It's like everyone was there,
Yeah,
right?
it was kind of feels like you're in a Hollywood movie or something, you know?
Yeah.
Pretty much was.
I want to talk about the ending. I want to go into that in a little bit, but one of the things that I need to know about, and you just briefly mentioned that there is a sort of dangers of running through Africa.
Yeah.
And I mean, talk to me, because there I know there's some crazy stories. There was a kidnapping at one point.
Yeah.
But that wasn't just it. There was loads of stuff, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Mate, kind of hard to remember all the mad shit that happened, to be honest. But yeah, like, robbed at gunpoint. There was many attempted robberies.
Attempted? As in, like, they tried and Gus was stood there, or what? Like,
yeah, I mean, like, there was I remember one in South Africa. A guy I was running late at night, which was stupid. Kind of 2 guys kind of tried to sandwich me on the side of the road, and I started just being like, just acting like a lunatic, just try and put them off. But then, you know, other times we got gun pointed in our face, so that was games.
So wait, what are they doing? They're like on a motorbike coming up to you, or in a car coming up to you.
It depends. There's different type of situations, and I think a lot of these things, right? Like the people that are attempting to rob you are kind of trying to suss it out first. Like, when you actually put yourselves in their shoes, they're probably quite nervous to do it. You know, if I said like go and rob something, you'd be like, shit.
Yeah.
So like, a lot of it is just trying to suss out how about it they really are. And then if they're gun about it, then you're like, okay,
yeah,
listen,
take this.
But if they're like, you know, a little bit, then you can kind of try and just make yourself a bit of a harder target. So there was a lot of those kind of situations where it's just try and make yourself a bit more of a harder target and like push back a bit, and then it actually ends up being all right.
But when the gun ones come into play, and he's whipped it out, got it in your face. What's the plan? Do you try and talk yourself out of it? Like, it's not you, pal.
No. Trip always says,
I'm convinced I can talk myself out of it.
Yeah. This is what he stands by this. He can talk someone out of it.
The hand on the shoulder. Yeah. This isn't you. But yeah, no. How did that go?
Trying to give him a therapy session with Rob. Yeah.
Come on, man.
Well, the fact we was in Angola and they speak Portuguese makes things a bit difficult.
Yeah.
So there's no talking to no one.
There's no therapy session, Chip. So you didn't think that? But
that's where you got to pull out notes on your phone.
You can go with the body language numbers, like, you know, these ones.
Yeah.
Which is what So I remember when they bowled in through the van. I was on a break about 30 kilometers in, and it was me, Harry, and Jared were just sat there chatting shit, and they popped the door open, gun, and I stood up and was like, look, like me, like come on, like boys, like basically I was like, we're skint, and I don't want to lose any of it. I want to lose as little things as possible.
Yeah,
this is going to be bad news. But then like they just started taking things.
Yeah.
And
what sort of bits did they take?
Camera, drone. They took Harry and Jared's phone.
Oh,
sake.
Money, passports.
The works.
Yeah.
The passport's going as a fucking...
That was the
that's
worst.
a ball. Like,
everything else you can kind of replace, but the passport
stressful.
long,
Like getting a new passport,
long, so long.
And this probably sounds stupid, but like there's no like belling up the police being like, we've just been robbed.
Well,
it's just something you found.
do you know what? Like the police were actually very helpful.
Yeah.
Really helpful.
Really?
We went to the police station. They got all their big dogs on it immediately, and then they took us back. They were trying to like find any like we got the detective on it. He was on his shit trying to find stuff, but they couldn't. Obviously, they get the phones. They just dip straight away and they're gone. Yeah. So yeah, and then after that, it made Angolan news. Like it was in a bit of British news, I think. And then the president of Angola was like, police escort, make sure nothing goes wrong with them either.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, when you do go to the police and say, hey, look, we've been robbed, blah, 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 is it a case of they kind of know what's going on? They're like, oh, this guy doing the run, or did you have to explain? And then...
So I had to explain, but then after that, like, a lot of people in Angola knew who I was, which was kind of weird.
Made it a lot easier for you.
Yeah.
Did you have quite a lot of security escorts through? Because I feel like I saw quite a bit of footage of you having those through.
Briefly in Windhoek and then Angola and Algeria. That was pretty much it.
Was there like a most, I guess, the most dangerous situation you were in? Would you say that was that gunpoint robbery you just mentioned there?
Probably the Congo, to be honest.
Why was that?
Like,
you can't talk about it, can you?
Oh, really?
I do find it quite hard to talk about. Like, it was the only video in the YouTube series that we didn't release.
Right.
Yeah.
What's the reason? As in, like, why is it hard? Is it just emotionally, mentally for you difficult?
Yeah, mate, it was very emotional, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, basically, I thought I was going to die on a couple of occasions that day, and it was mad. Like, yeah, it was.
Yeah, no, mate.
It was like to kind of I'll try and set the scene a bit. Like DRC, as soon as we bowled up there, I think we was all a bit anxious about the whole situation. Like, it's one of the poorest countries in the world, and the locals, in my experience anyway, very subjective experience, but they were like quite hostile. People were shouting at us. Officials were trying to get money out of us from the get-go, and it kind of created this thing where it's like, whoa, like we are up against it a little bit here. And then a guy, I remember that day 2, a guy came up to me with a big rock that had a load of spikes in it and was like, I'm going to lob this over your head if you don't give me £3. And I gave him £1 because I was like, I'm not about to fight you over £3, but also I don't want to look like I'm giving you too much.
Yeah.
Sort of thing. And then, I woke up, I was going to run 100k because we'd hit 100k on YouTube. And I said that I'd run 100k, and then basically lost the boys because the van couldn't go down this road. It was like no tarmac, all these mud paths. Got separated from them. They tried to kind of like rearrange a meeting point with me, but then like signal died out, ran out of water, ran out of food, ran into this village. I kind of tried to keep my head down and just get through, because I was already like quite scatty at this point. I was quite on edge with the whole situation, and the locals weren't very happy with me. They ended up trying to get money out of me, and then walked me out into the bush. 2 guys with machete.
Jesus.
I was shitting myself bad, and then like basically emptied my bag, had nothing but biscuits, gave my biscuits, legged it. There was all kind of like commotion running through the jungle, and then 2 guys on a motorbike came. They said like they were trying to communicate to me, but it was their Lingala and I'm speaking English. I have no idea what they're saying. they kind of tried to communicate. They were going to take me to my friends. I was like, oh, I don't know if this is true. Like, this is normally the boys would send a note when they were sending people for me. They had no notes or anything, and I was like, oh. But I'd ran like 50 something K. I had no water. I was really dehydrated. I was really hungry. My phone had no signal. I was like, kind of not got a choice. I was like, it's either this or I'm like camping in the jungle overnight. And I was like, oh, that's probably not a good idea either.
Yeah.
So went with them. I was like, if I'm not back with the boys in like half an hour, then I know it's bad news. And then I ended up being on the motorbike for 7 hours. Yeah, rough.
Mate.
And then, ended up in this rural village. It was middle of the night, got took to this little wooden hut. A bunch of men were arguing about how much money I owed them. And then the second chief of the village spoke a few words in English. I managed to kind of say to him, like, look, if you call my mate, they can come over, we'll get the money, it's all going to be all right. Then they kind of spoke, we got it arranged, but the boys had such a hard time getting to me because we're 7 hours in the jungle, there's no tarmac, pure jungle stuff. So yeah, like eventually the boys got to me, we squared everything away, and it was all right.
Jesus Christ,
it
mate.
was
that is
like the roughest, it was rough, man.
Yeah.
Damn. Well,
Jesus,
luckily,
mate. Well, I'm glad. It sounds like you're lucky to be out of there. Honestly.
Yeah. It was probably the toughest few days of my life.
Did you take a couple of days off after that? Or
Nah.
No.
Put in another two.
Probably better to just get back on and get
I was like,
the mission going. Really.
Also,
don't want to be thinking about
it without slandering. I just wanted to get out of there, man. I just wanted to get out of the country. I was like, we'd had such a rough experience, and we'd found that like even the police and stuff were mugging it more than anyone else. Do you know what I mean? So I was like, nah, let's get gone as quickly as possible.
Mate,
damn,
that sounds absolutely wild, honestly.
Worth noting that that is a very subjective experience of a tiny part of the week for the DRC for like a week. It's a massive country. There's loads of people that are very friendly. It's just
it happens.
Yeah, absolutely.
Got places. There's places in England you want to run through.
Yeah.
Fuck, you know.
No, that sounds like that's fascinating, and especially in the sense that, like, you know, there is probably like not loads of that particular moments, but there's going to be loads of sketchy things that would have happened. And like I said earlier, like just the fact that people won't realize actually how dangerous not only like physically the feat is, but also the situations you're going to find yourself in.
Yeah. And like for every moment like that, there were so many more moments that were like people taking us in for the night, feeding us, like going so far out of their way to try and help us, like, you know, 100 to 1 the amount of times that people were doing something amazing for us to compare the times where it went a bit
Did you have like a favorite country that you enjoyed the most? And maybe that's for like the running scenery.
Yeah, different countries for different reasons. Like I really, you know, Angola, especially after robbery, the people banded around us so amazingly trying to support us. So that was incredible. And, you know, people in Windhoek in Namibia were amazing. I really loved like Northern Africa, like Mauritania, Algeria, Tunisia. People were great as well. Yeah, I mean, honestly, there was highlights from every country where I was like, oh, that was sick, you know. It's hard to kind of say favourite. I'd maybe say Namibia.
Yeah.
I really want to go back to Namibia at some point.
Sick.
Yeah.
What, just on like a holiday one?
Man, like they've got great like nature parks with like lions, elephants, rhinos.
I've heard that actually.
Yeah.
My mum actually told me to go to Namibia.
They've got the skeleton coast where like the sand dunes go straight into the sea, and then you got like the seals you might have seen on like the David Attenborough stuff and that. It's
that's unreal.
Unreal country. It's really sparsely populated as well, so there's like not that many people there. But when you see them, they're well friendly.
What, like this type of thing?
Yeah,
Wow, that almost looked AI, bro.
Yeah, that don't look real.
That's insane.
Yeah, it's hitting though.
Absolutely.
It's not quite Blackpool.
Oh wait, well, look at that.
I made that job 10 times.
The shipwreck. Yeah, that's wild. Did you see anything like crazy while you're running? Do you know what I mean? Like maybe that's wildlife. Like
craziest thing I saw.
Yeah.
Dark, dead man on the side of the road.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Just dead man rotting away on the side of the road. I was like, whoa, that's nuts.
Is that the first time you've seen that?
You'd ever seen?
In Nigeria, did you say that was?
Yeah.
Was that the first time you ever seen Just like,
I don't think so, to be fair.
yeah, I don't think I've ever seen someone dead. So that'd blow me away.
It was mad.
Yeah.
It was kind of mad. He was just like cars driving past. Like it was a main road.
Like it was just like a standard thing.
Literally just like on the side of the road dead. I was like, what?
Oh, that's rough.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, there's not, and realistically, there's not much you could do there. Like,
No, you just got to.
it just is what it is.
Gone.
Keep
Yeah,
going.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, I mean, I does that class as wildlife? You know, that was my question. What wildlife did you see? But
Saw a
I
bunch
guess
of like monkeys, loads of monkeys in Congo, snakes.
Oh yeah, talk to me about the snakes quickly, by the way, because snakes. That's my biggest fear
too, man. Snakes are like the boy. I was always running about going, "That snakes are the devil, man. I hate snakes.
Yeah.
They are evil incarnate, like in a creature. There, like that is pure
Evil.
Voldemort shit. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not on it. I hate it.
And so were there a lot of them?
Yeah, like especially when. What would happen a lot is when I was running into the evenings, they would come out more onto the roads because the tarmac was hotter. And
slithering about, fucking up your vibes.
Yeah, really doing numbers for the vibes.
Yeah. And then what about in the jungles?
Jungles, like lots of monkeys. I think the kind of half the sad thing is that I was running mostly through the main roads, especially like through the Congo. There's only one road that goes up the country.
Yep.
And every man and his dog lives on the road because it's good for like trading and stuff. Like they can get straight onto the road. So basically, wherever there's people, there's not much animals because people are just killing them.
Kill them and eat. Yeah, eat them. Yeah.
They've kind of learned to just not.
You ever come across any like gorillas or that? What about like giraffes and zebras and stuff like that?
Yeah, giraffes, zebras.
That must have been quite a cool experience to really just see that, like
just out and about.
Like this is not a zoo. Like, do you know what I mean?
They're just cruising.
Yeah.
The monkeys are
Catch
crazy.
a ride.
They just like I was very impressed with them. They just,
The fucking Ballon d'Or ranking here. Yeah, monkeys
they
are
were
up there.
just flinging
For me.
themselves over the trees like that. I was like, wow, that's skill set is up here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're dialed in, man.
But they would even kill the monkeys and eat the monkeys as well.
Really?
Yeah, I ate some monkey.
Monkey.
You
Oh,
did?
you tried it?
Yeah, tried it.
What did that? Was that nice?
Like,
or?
it tastes like chicken.
Yeah.
Everyone says that.
No, but I feel like everything
Tastes like
kind of
chicken.
tastes like chicken.
They say
Yeah.
we taste like what? What do they say we taste like?
Probably
Pork.
chicken.
Pork, innit?
Pork.
Pork.
I'd love to yam on you. A little thanks.
I'd taste shit.
I
What
don't
part of
think
me?
humans taste very good though.
Nah, I think someone said that.
a little thigh. I feel like you got a nice thigh.
Yeah?
This is taking a mad turn.
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't
I would
know.
try it one time when I'm like 80. I'd be like, fuck it. Let me have a little
Season
piece of my
up.
boy. He's
Yeah.
gone now.
If I died, I'd let.
I've got a question for you boys. If you boys are on a boat, in the middle of the sea,
Yeah.
like, and someone's got to go because like there's no food left, who's getting?
Don't eat me because I know I've got much on me,
Who's
man.
getting-
No.
Nothing on me.
Look, us three, me, Proddy, and Chip.
Yeah.
Me and
Got
Proddy,
it,
I
Pod.
know for a fact we're getting rid of Chip because
Yeah.
just
No.
like in terms of like roles and
fuck you
responsibilities
guys.
of what he would do on the boat, he'd just
doing
sit
a
there
lot.
moaning.
Sharking it,
That's
yeah.
not
He
even
just
true.
moaned. Me and Proddy get shit
You
done.
know
I'm
what?
telling
you know
you,
what I
yeah.
mean? I'll be the morale leader. Like I'll be like,
You
hey,
wouldn't.
guys,
You would bring
don't
down.
worry.
You just fucking
Another day,
complain
another
the
dollar.
entire time.
Look, hey,
Motivational
you ain't,
quotes
guys,
every day.
It's another morning. We're not dead yet.
Yeah. So
See?
Chip, what are you saying though? If these boys are coming for you, do you reckon you've got like?
I reckon.
Fight or flight.
I don't know. You know, these guys are big. I'm gonna have to start getting scatty. You know,
Yeah,
like
like
crackhead,
biting
skinny
people
energy,
and stuff,
biting. Like, I'll bite your dick off.
Yeah.
Like, if I have to, I'll bite your dick off.
It's got
If I have to.
If I have to, gotta do what you gotta do.
What cut's the nicest, do you reckon, of a human?
How's this got to this? We're chatting about
surely arse
Africa,
cheek
now
is
we're
the
talking about
nicest.
eating.
It's got to be the thigh, right?
Arse cheek
maybe
might
a
be
thigh.
good, bit fatty.
Yeah, it's way too fatty.
No,
Tell you
but
what.
you want a little bit of that. You know, good for the energy. See that? See, if we were on that boat, you lot would be fucked.
Calf
I think
muscle
it,
could
I
be
think
quite
it
nice.
depends on the person because like if you wanted a bit of my leg, it's going to be a bit tough. You know, the muscles.
Yeah, you're being.
And that's being through some
No,
shit.
but you know what? That's like a premium cut, though. I think
I don't think so because
No.
like when you think of
Wagyu
I
has
remember
fat
in
between
it's a
them.
massage.
yeah, you want the like soft stuff. Like I remember in Namibia, they gave us some chicken. They were like, "Oh, this is runner chicken,"
right.
and then we had the chicken. I was like, "Oh, it's a bit tough."
Is it called? Is it because
Yeah.
the
Not
chickens
nice.
are
Chickens are
Just-
athletic.
they're darting about everywhere, and the muscles are a bit tight. I think.
Yeah.
but you want maybe like someone that's just sat around a bit.
Well, that's what the Wagyu steak is all about. Like they fatten these things up,
Massage
and then they
the
massage
marble
it,
in
and
the-
then you get the fat in between it. So actually, you actually more want like a Stanley.
Have you had a steak? What? Hey, whoa, Stanley.
Oh wait, where's HR? Where's
crazy.
HR? That's crazy.
Hey, Ness is next door. That does not leave this room. Stanley, I just want to say, bro, you're in good shape, brother. But those thighs, you can't tell me those thighs aren't going to be juicy.
They're the
Juicy
juiciest motherfuckers
as
I ever
fuck.
seen, Stanley.
Juicy as
If
hell.
Stanley posted a picture the other day, people were like, yeah, Stanley's thigh is bigger than Chip. Fuck.
I just have a quick, after the bonus podcast that we did with you, did you get girls hitting your DMs?
There's people in the comments of the load.
What, thirsting over you?
Come on.
That's what we do. We put you on like that, Stan.
That's what he does.
What great bosses.
Yeah.
What more do you want?
They're just
Fat
sorting you out,
shaming.
boy.
And
And sorting you out of birds.
yeah.
come on, man.
Unreal.
Speaking of wanking, how did you manage with that?
That's
Yeah.
a big question.
Because
Yeah.
you 2 people per van.
No, I have my own in the end. I have my own 4x4, you know what I mean?
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
come on.
So how does that work then when you're out there? You just got if you got your own
mate,
van,
you gotta
that's easy.
just
I feel bad for
strangle
people
the
like
goose every
that.
now and again. Like I'm more. You got to keep it below the belt as much as possible, but obviously you need to release.
Yeah.
Strangled a goose.
And I imagine doing a lot of exercise,
Yeah,
that gets that testosterone pumping.
yeah, but it's good to keep it in. You know, it's good to keep it in. I was once a week kind of
Treat
That's
yourself.
Oh, a Sunday
little
treat.
pick me up.
Yeah, little pick.
It's like a little Sunday roast. Fucking run a chicken and a wank. There you going.
Always feel mad motivated after a wank as well, so I bet it helped you a bit.
No, I'm the opposite.
Nah, I'll put music on as soon as my wank's
Yeah.
finished because I feel motivated, and then I'll think about things I want to achieve. And it lasts for like a minute. It's like a high. It's fucking crazy.
The music thing's so true, man.
No, I feel bad for the other 3 lads that had to share the van. They go, all right, Gus, mate, your turn.
You're up. Fucking timing each other. That's 3-minute crazy numbers, mate.
That's fun.
It was one of them quite like unspoken about things.
Yeah.
Like, everyone knows it's happening at some point. It's just like,
You can't get around it.
but it's just like easy just to not bother calling people out. You just
Just do your thing.
Look, it's gonna get happen at some point.
It has to, man.
Yeah.
Because what I'm saying is, imagine you waited like 350 days, what that nut's going to be like, bro.
It would start messing with your head. That's
Yeah.
the thing. You'd actually just start messing with your head.
Yeah.
You couldn't do it to yourself.
Any of the lads single from the team?
All of them
Oh, mate.
at the end, yeah, all of them.
They meet
at
some
the end.
locals?
So were they dating on their way up?
They'll break up on the trip. No.
Nat, what do you mean dating on the way up? As in, were they dating?
Were they shagging birds on the way up?
Oh.
Yeah, they got... Nah,
To
like,
Tunisia.
That's not for me to talk.
all right,
Yeah,
okay. Well,
that's-
we'll have to get Gus on then.
Yeah, I'll tell you all about it.
Fucking game in Tunisia.
What? Yeah. All right, let's talk a little bit about the ending.
Yeah.
So you had this sick link up. How many people made it out there?
I think
Like 200 plus.
200 in the end. Like there was a lot of people there. Yeah, it was crazy.
Look,
Mate, the Shell garage was the starting
mate.
point where it was
Yeah.
hammered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unreal.
in that final video as well, you really see just how many people made it over there. You know what did piss me off a little bit?
Yeah, go on.
It was actually the fact that I felt like the media and stuff like that, they glory hunted a bit, you know. They waited until the end. Like it came in like a little bit of a wave, like that Algeria thing. There was a bit of a peak, and then it went quiet again. And then like the last week, I guess everyone was there like, "Oh yeah, by the way, he's finishing." And I was there like, "Come on, guys, man, this guy's been at it for 250
Where were
days,
you?
Yeah.
and I know he needed your money. So what the fuck were you doing?" But yeah, they just came like crazy last few days.
I guess
didn't
it's one of them things. Like for most people, no one cares for 350 days. It's a long time. Like
yeah.
Someone's whole life
Everyone's
as well.
got lives
Got
to live. You know,
Fine.
like just let him do his thing for a bit, and then when I finish, it's like, oh, kind of cool.
Yeah.
So, you know, he finished now. So
Um,
I get it.
And then, yeah, obviously, so you had people join you for a marathon, then some people joined at like the half marathon mark, right? And then we had the final sprint.
I knew you were going to be.
And I can't bring this up, yeah, because we
You ain't
actually...
stop fucking talking about
Nah,
that.
because this pissed me off, yeah. The guy in the yellow,
Yeah.
all right? What are your thoughts about it? Because to the people that don't know, you go through it and there's just this guy right at the end that kind of beats you to the line.
Yeah, he actually did fully.
He actually beat you to the line, and it just jarred me out so much. This guy right here, yeah. What did you think to that? Did you? I mean, you probably didn't really care at the time, but
I did think like, boys, because everyone was obviously a bit close, and I was like, I did say like, oh, let me go for the last. Got to about 100 minutes. I was like, boys, let me go. And I don't know if you just didn't hear me or I don't know.
Yeah.
You know.
That was mad. 350 days.
was mad.
350 days and this guy smoked you, bro.
You're gonna let that happen, man. But you know what? We
tried to come up with scenarios.
He's got pretty
I've tried to
toasted online,
defend him.
didn't he? I think
He got caught.
Yeah. I've tried to defend him. Like maybe he wasn't so aware of the whole magnitude of what was happening.
The only annoying, I didn't really care at the time. I didn't even really know it happened.
Yeah.
It's just like watching it back. It's like, oh mate, like we've got a docu we're making. How are we going to cut that out? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You might just have to pay like the extra like $2,000 just to CGI him out there, man.
Yeah. Fuck CGI.
Get him to pay for it.
Yeah. Oh mate, I
think like he's a Tunisian man. Obviously, he's probably just like proud of his country and wants to make sure that Tunisia is like represented at the finish line. But he's
nice ways
a
to
little
do
bit
that,
far of it.
Yeah, he did.
But fuck it, man, you did it. Whether Yellow Man was there or not, it doesn't matter.
So this documentary that you've been referencing, what's the situation with that? Like,
well, we've got all the footage. It's in the works. We haven't got agreed where it's going to end up, or it's not fully made or anything yet. So, you know, I'm excited for it. I think it's going to be pretty sick, hopefully.
Man, no doubt it's going to be unreal. Who's so is it like people are editing it together now? Like, what's the next stage and then I imagine once that comes together, maybe like halfway, then, you know, hopefully like an Amazon or a Netflix or somebody.
That's the aim.
That's the dream.
Yeah, that's the dream. Yeah, I think we're not at the point yet where we're kind of ready to show it, or we haven't got anything to show at the moment. But we'll see what happens with it, man. Like, yeah, hopefully it'll be good.
Absolutely.
So I was thinking, like, obviously it's hard to imagine a world where this doesn't go on one of those big platforms. I was thinking they'd code to you and be like, hey, we'll make the doc for you. So you're doing it the other way around and being like, hey, we've got it. Do you like it?
Well, one of the things like I've spoken to a few like production companies, and I don't know much. Like, you boys will know way more about this kind of game than me, but like, it just seems to me like people spend stupid money making this kind of stuff.
Yeah,
mate.
And I'm like,
they do.
I just came off the back of like 2 YouTube boys that made a whole series for like on, you know, basics.
Yeah.
And you're telling me that it's going to cost like hundreds of thousands to get this thing made.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm kind of just like, well, we can do this. You know?
Yeah.
So we've got a few like linking up with Zach and stuff. We've got a few plans.
I was gonna say, if you know like the right people, you'll be able to get it done for like it won't cost you hundreds of thousands.
Yeah.
But there is no doubt that a top level like edit and stuff it will run you minimum 6 figures.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Which is insane when you think about it.
Because you do want it to be at a level where it's like Netflix, Apple are going to look at it and go, this meets the requirements for a Netflix level doc.
Yeah.
So it's like you're finding that balance of let's not fucking break the bank, but let's get something that's good enough for the world to see.
Yeah.
Did you have any like inspirations in terms of like documentary stuff? I mean, we've seen quite a few. Like, I don't know if you've seen Free Solo.
Yeah,
that.
I don't know if I've actually watched Free Solo, but I obviously know who Alex Honnold is, and he's a proper gangster. Like Nims, 14 Peaks was a banger. Like these type of things, they're like, you know, they set the standard really. So that's kind of what we're aiming for, something like similar to that.
Mate.
You got any title ideas? What would you call it?
I actually haven't really thought about that. You got any for me?
I ran the length of
I've already done that one.
Gone wrong. YouTube title.
I don't know. Fuck. That's a tricky one, man.
Project Africa. There we go.
Yeah, I don't know. It needs to be it needs to be cooler than that, man. I don't know.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, that time will come. But
Can't think of it. I was trying to think of something cool off the dome.
You mentioned a few of the other like these achievements, like the Free Solo, climbing El Cap, and then even Nims and his 14 Peaks and stuff. Are there any other people like that you've sort of been in awe of or that have inspired you? I mean, we actually had a conversation about like these type of achievements and where they rank and stuff like that. And we probably missed some, but I was just curious to know if there were any that really stuck out to you.
Ross Edgy swimming around the UK, that was pretty mad.
Mate,
that's fucking mad.
Have you listened to the podcast about him telling about how like his tongue eroded and stuff like that?
Yeah, that was sick. Ned Brockman ran across Australia. Obviously, Gucci ran across America last year. Them boys smashed it.
Yeah. I mean, so there's one thing here, sorry, about you running with Kipchoge.
Yeah.
Can you explain that? Because that's mad, by the way.
I met him in Kenya ages ago, like 5 years ago, maybe.
Wow.
Yeah. I went to Kenya. I wanted to, I just basically packed in all my jobs. I was like, I need to go and see some of the world. Went Kenya, went to this little village called Iten. Don't know if you've heard of it before, but it's like so many of the best runners, like endurance runners, come from this tiny little village. It's about 2,500 meters elevation gain on top of the Rift Valley, and the whole like village basically loves running. It's crazy. It's sick. And Kipchoge's from there. So I went there just to see what it was about and got my ass handed to me by everyone there. But then met Kipchoge. It's pretty cool.
That is it. And what's he like as a person?
I mean, didn't really spend much time with him, to be honest, but like seems very humble. Just going about his business.
Yeah, he's the real deal.
Yeah, I think even when you see the stuff that he puts out on socials and like, seems like he's a very grounded man.
Yeah,
top bloke.
Well, is there something to do with the elevation of the village that makes them better runners or something?
Yeah, so I think there's a few geographical things that make like a lot of Eastern Africans in general are like, that's where like a lot of the top guys come from. When you see people winning marathons and stuff, they're quite often from that region. And I think a few things. One, the elevation gain means that there's less oxygen in the air, so that their bodies are acclimatized to running on less oxygen. So then they come down to sea level and it's like breathing milkshake and they've just got so much oxygen.
Wow,
like, yeah,
a little superpower.
This is what you lot are doing. This is fucking piss.
Yeah. Pretty much. So that's part of it. I think the culture as well, like, because a few people from I-10 especially have made it, like you think of how like Kipchoge's probably balling pretty hard right now. Culturally it's like seen as a good route out. So I think they all love running. And then also just like genetically, the way that I think the Eastern African, a lot of people in East Africa have evolved, like they're quite skinny and like long limbed. And that's better for running because they exert heat way more efficiently. Like their skin surface area is way higher, so there's more, like basically more ways for the heat to escape.
Fascinating.
So they're, amazing runners.
So many things go into it.
Yeah, well, I guess when you get to that level, like that, those small differences make such a big difference.
Especially like when you look at 10Ks and 5Ks, where the difference is like a few seconds here or there, and like when you get a guy's leg out, I stand next to people in Kenya, and they're just built different. They're literally built different.
Yeah,
they're
like small torsos or whatever, but long legs.
Yeah. Like you think of like Mo Farah, for example. Yeah. I think guys maybe like, I think he's like 5'9", so similar kind of height, but he's just naturally just way thinner.
Yeah.
Like the day I finished was probably the skinniest I'll ever get.
Yeah.
Didn't lift no weights for a whole year. Couldn't sustain myself calorie wise. And if you stood me side by side in the last day with someone like a Mo Farah or Kipchoge, then they're just way more.
Yeah. How much weight did you lose on this trip actually?
I think it was about 10 kilos.
Wow.
Yeah, which isn't.
And what did you weigh at the beginning though?
74.
Yeah, I mean that's a good percentage of your body, like
down to 64. Yeah. So I was pretty skinny at the end, but I had a good time since I've been back in the UK. Eating all the pies.
Yeah. With all everything's done now, you've come back, you've had a little rest. Is your body now in a position to, let's say, if you went to go and do a marathon and you wanted to try and beat your personal record, are you now in the position to go and do that?
Nah.
Or would you actually not?
I ran the marathon on Sunday.
Yeah.
And I was pacing people, so I wasn't going for a time or anything, but body's not
knackered still.
Yeah, it's not great.
Yeah.
How was that London Marathon for you?
Carnage.
Really?
I mate, good. Yeah. Like
everybody on there must know you. You must have been like.
Well, I didn't quite anticipate. Because I've been around London and like people were recognising me and stuff, but I mean, I'm sure you boys get it all the time as well. Like, and it's nice, and it's not like I can't go anywhere. Like, I can still cut about, do whatever I want. But then at the end of the London Marathon, I kind of realised, I was like, that's like the people that run marathons are the kind of people that would have followed me. So then they're in a concentrated area.
Yeah.
It's like, whoa.
That must have been intense there.
It was I did feel a bit overwhelmed.
Yeah.
But, everyone was well nice, so I can't really complain.
That's class.
Yeah.
And then even just this morning, like since you've been back, like you were running with the Prime Minister.
Prime Minister this morning, yeah.
Sunak?
With Rishi Sunak, yeah.
What was that for? And what was that like?
Nothing really. Like
did he just want to go on for a run?
Yeah, number 10 emailed me and were like,
I would have thought that was
like the Prime Minister, like I said, like about going for a run. I was like, Prime Minister, wow. Okay,
You know.
yeah, all right, do that.
Yeah, and so that's literally what you did. You just rocked up.
Just rocked up number 10.
Wait,
bowled
so
in the
what,
door,
you rock up outside the
literally
gates?
knocked on his door. He came out.
No, wait, like knocked on number 10 as
Yeah,
if
so
you just
I went
rocked up.
into number 10.
Yeah.
And then he has like a flat inside number 10. Got a tour of the whole Downing Street. And there's so much history there, man. It's sick. And then literally he has an apartment, and the front door to his apartment just knocked on the door and he came out.
Nah, that's actually insane, by the way.
Yeah, I never thought
Was the
it'd be
security
like that.
crazy there?
Yeah. So they had like, I think like 5 security guys. They were and then we did like 3.7k around. Just chatted to him a bit. He was asking me about Africa and like all the stuff that I'd done. Asked him, like, mad busy guy though. You know,
I'd like to think so.
Mad
I'd like
busy.
to think so.
I was like, I don't know, I couldn't handle that level of busyness.
Really, yeah.
Yeah, like I was in on TV yesterday. I saw he was in Germany and Poland, and he was bowling straight back. And I was like, he's Germany and Poland chatting to XYZ about like really important like security stuff, and then you just run around the park for me.
What did you go around Regent's Park? Or where did you run?
I don't even know.
Or just
I don't really know London very well.
Yeah.
Just whatever the park next to Downing Street is.
So that's pretty sick.
Yeah.
The fact that you did that. Has there been much stuff, like really cool stuff that you've been like, oh, super excited to
Yeah, I'm going. Well, I went down to the Brighton training ground last week.
Yep.
Met all the players, met De Zerbi and that.
Sick.
And I'm going. They're playing City tonight, so I'm going on the pitch tonight. My granddad's a big Brighton fan. My dad's a big Brighton fan, and got all the players to sign a thing for my granddad. Like sign a shirt, and we've got it framed and that. And we're going to sit in the director's box later, so that's pretty sick.
Mate, that's
class,
I'm
man.
gassed for my granddad as well.
Yeah.
Like he's so buzzing, right? Big Brighton fan, and he got diagnosed with terminal cancer 10 years ago. And they were like, yeah, he's got 1 year to go and he's still cutting about. Not in the best shape these days, but he's still going. And like, he was just so buzzing to see me finish, went round his gaff. Like, he was just like, absolutely buzzing, man.
Mate, especially if you're given 1 year,
Yeah.
you firmed it for
Powered
10,
through
and then
for
to be able to
10.
see you
Yeah.
complete that challenge, that must have been surreal.
Something in your
he was
DNA,
gassed.
man.
He's so buzzing.
Yeah, I don't know
You
what.
lot
Yeah, there's
built
something.
different.
Yeah, we gotta investigate.
It's the
that.
cook genes.
Yeah, literally
Fucking
that.
hell.
What was it like seeing your family at the end? What was that feeling like?
Yeah, it was mad. Like, I think the finish line was just like so surreal to me, because it was something that was really did feel like it was never coming. Like, there was so many points throughout the mission where I was just like, guess this is just my life now, running ultra marathons every day, and maybe this will end at some point. But it just got to the point where I was like, it was hard to even really contemplate it finishing, and then it actually finishes, and you're like, wow,
Shit.
that's mad, you know. And then you see family and girlfriend and everything, and I'm like, wow, it's crazy. It's over.
Yeah.
It's just done like that.
And then you had a little
It-
party.
Yeah.
Did you? Because I thought about this afterwards, and I guess the word depression's a bit extreme, but like, do you have like a real like, what the fuck now?
Yeah, well, I've been so busy since I've been back that I don't think I've really like had the time to just like properly process everything. So maybe I'll come.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And looking forward, I mean, again, like you said, you've only had, you know, like a week or so, a couple of weeks since, but has there been, is there something that you've always had your eye on? Like you said, with the running of Africa, you had that 4 years ago.
There's a few things. There's a few.
Don't want to say anything.
There's a few things. I'm not.
Fast.
I haven't got any. If I had any kind of concrete movement towards one of them, then I'd say, but I don't.
Yeah. All right.
So,
but running based?
some running based.
Okay.
Some others.
Cool.
Though.
Oh,
Some
okay.
I like
others,
that.
Yeah.
That's
Done a lot
so
of
sick. Can we scroll just
Pogo stick across the country.
on this? Yeah, keep going.
Man.
Yeah. Because I think we've gone through like
We had so many things.
Yeah, we did.
This is like our biggest doc ever. Like normally it'll just be a few bullet points like, yeah, the person did this the other day.
Yeah. This one we had so much stuff
been
to go
researching
through.
for weeks.
Yeah.
Exactly. But yeah, I mean, are you expecting, or do you think that you'll go on Joe Rogan? Because I was thinking that. I think I mean he had like Nims on like when it comes to this sort of stuff, and he would be fascinating to sit down with because he's really good.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be an honor. Like,
yeah.
But
just as what it is, isn't it?
Yeah, if it happens, it happens. If it don't, it don't.
Yeah.
What pods have you done so far? You did Happy Hour with Jack. That was the
Diary CEO yesterday.
Yep.
That's it.
How was that? Did he get you to cry?
I was on the edge a couple of times, but I affirmed that no tears down the face, but there was like,
you know, the second that tear drops, he was gonna go Huel.
Yeah. My boys did message me before, like Stephen helped so much with the mission as well, but like, and he's a great bloke, like really really nice guy. But my boys did message me before. They were like, he's gonna get you to cry, like
really.
I was like, I listened to Diary CEO a lot. I think it's a really great pod, but I was like, okay, I'm gonna try not to, but you're talking about emotional stuff and like it's hard.
Did he ask you how many times you wanked a week? This is what I'm saying, man.
That's why people have been waiting for this one.
Yeah.
That's sick. I mean, I can only imagine that there's probably going to be more stuff. Are you a bit conscious of that side of things?
Yeah, I think so. I think this is going to be the last one for a while. And then I'm writing a book, so then I might end up doing some more stuff later on. But the trouble is, like, I get excited to just like when you boys are like, I was like, oh yeah, sweet, I'll go and chat to them boys through like,
yeah.
So I want to like, I'm game to just chat to people. Like I find it so interesting, it's like to do, but I get tired of hearing my own voice at some point. I think everyone actually don't want to say.
Man, we're like almost 180 episodes in here. They're fucking well fed up of our shit. So they'll be more than happy to hear yours.
But you said you're writing a book. Have you already in the process?
Yeah. Yeah.
When did that start?
I mean, we had that locked in from
early.
Pretty early, like day 100 or something, day 120, something like that.
Sick.
So
like, because I was saying, I don't know if it was you that I was speaking to, but see a challenge like this that people can only fathom. Maybe they'll do one thing like this in their lifetime. Like, most people will never do something like. But I'm saying, like, one thing like this and completing it can potentially set you up for a lifetime of. Whether that be like good amount of money coming in or, but a lot of the time, like what people don't realize is that the type of people that can complete these sort of thing are just looking at the next adventure.
Yeah.
It never ends, man.
Yeah, and it is a never ending fucking cycle, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's a good thing though, I guess. Getting the most out of life.
Fuck it, man.
Yeah, I mean, I find it like, I do like doing all the content stuff, but it's not like the main thing. I like doing the thing first.
To be fair, I think when you build that good content team around you, it's just about like cool, like good content's being made, and I could just focus on doing the thing.
Yeah.
That's
and
the dream.
boys were great at that because like my input to the YouTube stuff was very minimal.
That's what you want when you're doing ultra marathons every day. You ain't got time to sit down and start fucking going over the edit and shit.
Yeah.
No, you don't want to do that.
No.
Oh.
Imagine finishes the marathon. He's like, mate, need some notes on the video.
That would be Chip.
That would be Chip. Chip would do it. Or he'd notice one small thing wrong in the video. Look, you're not fucking useless.
He'd finish 50k and ask for a fucking frame link.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't even know what you boys talking about.
It's just
you don't want to know.
It's just nonsense. All right, let's wrap this up with a few dilemmas that we've got here.
Okay.
So let's start with the first one. Is it like a would you rather? Yeah, Prod?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I like
cool, here we go. Would you rather fly into Tunisia and run back down to South Africa through the east side of Africa, same team, same van, and exact same situations you faced on the way up the western side, or complete 10 Ironmans in 10 days in Swansea?
10 Ironmans
Why
10
is it
days,
in Swansea, though?
Not even close.
Yeah.
Not even close.
Do you reckon you could complete 10 Ironmans in 10 days?
I can't swim, but I'd figure it out.
You can't swim or you're just not a good swimmer?
It's in the on the edge.
Yeah, on the edge.
That bad. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. We'll get you like a little dinghy.
You have to complete them, and if you don't, say you're on like the 5th one, and you fail your first one, you have to start again.
Okay. How do I get any time to get a little bit like a swim coach for an hour?
I'm gonna give you 2 weeks.
Oh yeah, sound no problem.
All right, yeah. So you're choosing the 10 Ironmans. I mean,
look, he thought he had a proper good one. He thought he's gonna be thinking age.
What he starts doing, he starts going things like, "Oh yeah, but like on the 5th Ironman you get cancer."
Throwing fucking curveballs at you.
Moving the goalpost.
Yeah.
All right, we got another one here.
The thing is, 10 days,
Yep.
right? Running back down the east side of Africa would take like another at least 250 days.
Yeah.
10 days, mate. You'd have to make it like.
Nah, but you're not
All right,
considering
fine then.
this.
50 Ironmans.
You're not considering the
50
fact
Ironmans, and you have to crawl.
you're overlooking the fact that it's in Swansea.
Yeah, that's the hard part.
Yeah. That makes
There's
it
no
more
glitz
difficult.
or glamour here.
They've still got Tesco Express in Swansea, isn't they?
Yeah, you'd be sweet.
Fucking hope so.
You can get your hoist in wraps.
Yeah, no.
Have you
Farm
thought about
food.
doing like because that's something like for me I will achieve in my lifetime. I want to do an Ironman. I think that's really fucking cool.
Yeah.
Is that something that even interests you at all? Like just different disciplines that aren't running?
I'd give it a go. I probably wouldn't like spend an awful lot of time on it.
Yeah.
But I'd just like if someone said, "Oh, there's an Ironman on the weekend or something."
Yeah,
Give it
all
a
right.
whack.
So you just rock up and I'll
You should
give
do it,
that a
man.
go.
You should do it.
You're the
You've got to
kind of
take
guy that
everything
can.
off here.
Yeah.
All
Maybe
right, we
one
got another
day.
one.
All
Go
right,
on,
here we
Chip.
go. Okay. Run the length of Africa running backwards, or drink the amount of sweat you have accumulated from running it forwards.
Oh.
Bro, how do you even come up with these though? What's
Mate,
going on in
if
that fucking
The
mind?
amount of sweat. That's a lot of sweat, man.
Yeah.
That's like
I mean, you're looking at
there's good few
gallons.
Yeah, but once you get the first gallon out of the way, it's like, fuck it, it's all right. This
Nah.
no,
Is it?
is it? Nah, probably not.
And then the thing is, you see. All right, no wait. You answer here. What do you think? I know which one
I'd say the sweat, but like I don't know. I think I'm struggling bad.
Prodi right now is thinking, all right, yeah, it's sweat, but it's also the piss as well.
Yeah,
And the blood.
and the blood and an
So with the sweat, am I having to continuously? Can I like take swigs of water or something?
No,
Nah,
it's
just sweat,
straight
bro.
sweat. There's like there's probably if you averaged maybe 3 liters of sweat a day. For
How much?
It's like 1,000 liters of sweat.
Yeah, but if you close your eyes,
that's
you can
not- that's
imagine that
mad.
it's
We-
cloudy
we-
apple juice. If you close your eyes.
Were you like the amount of water you must have been consuming on those trips? And you said there were times where you actually ran out of water,
There was,
or is that just when you broke away from
mostly just when I broke away. There wasn't crazy. We were pretty on it because it honestly doesn't take long with no water and 40 degrees in the jungle to like get in a pretty bad state.
Did you have any of those where you just overcooked it and you were there like, oh, I've gone too far here and I haven't drank enough water? Like there would have been some early lessons.
Early days, I got food poisoning and then couldn't eat. I was throwing up every time I ate, and then I was struggling to drink as well. And there was a day in there where I was just not vacant, like just no one at home.
Yeah.
Just
Did you ever go like a bit delulu?
little bit.
Because I think I'd go a bit nuts.
Yeah, I think that. Do you know what helped? A few things helped. One is that I did have a team there. If I was by myself, I mean, probably
Chatting to yourself.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. And I did still have my little moments where I was caught myself being like, "Ooh."
What's going on, man?
But having a team meant that like I was always conscious there was other people around, so I couldn't let myself unravel too crazy. And like there's still a whole operation that I'm kind of having to manage on the side of things that was meant that I couldn't just fully let myself.
I was thinking there when you're talking about having that team there. I mean, we did a little road trip down the west coast of Australia, or the east coast of Australia. Sorry,
Sick.
and mate, it was unreal. But I was just thinking, like, there were a couple of times like we're all in an RV and like it got a bit snappy.
Yeah, no,
Like it got snappy, and I was just thinking, mate, if you got to into it, like it's Snap City in there.
Yeah, it does. I think you do find your kind of ways of coping with it, but mate, I don't think I could name one person that I could spend 352 days on the spin with and not like at least fall out like twice.
Yeah, it's
just going to happen.
You have to accept it from the get go. Like you're going to get pissed off with people. That's just part of it. Isn't it?
Life.
Did you dabble in any jungle drugs whilst you were there?
No, that's a good point. No, because if you're getting offered like some bits and pieces, fucking hell, I'd absolutely to break up the monotony.
What jungle drugs are? What, like eating leaves and
like when them people like in them TikTok videos are laid out on like a mat and they're having like mad experiences and stuff.
Oh yeah, okay. Well, yeah, go on then.
There was one time.
There
was one time, and I can't like. I'm actually not a drugs man. I don't encourage drugs at all. Don't do drugs. But there was one time. There was a guy in Congo. He actually ended up. It was quite a funny story, really. Our van broke down, and we had to get it towed to Brazzaville to get it fixed. And
Brazzaville.
We phoned up the mechanic, and we were like, oh, like, can you come and tow us? And they were like, yeah, we'll do it, but it's going to cost you. It was a crazy amount of money. It was like $1,000. And I was like, to tow us? That's crazy. Like, we'll find someone else. So then we just kind of stood on the side of the road, and we were like, people would come up to us, and like, a guy with a 4x4 came, and I was like, how much to tow us to Brazzaville? And he was like, 100 quid or something. I was like, Sound just got a 90% discount. Sweet, you're in, lad. And then he had a piece of shit motors, and it kept breaking down every 2 minutes. And then eventually, what was supposed to be a 2-hour journey ended up being like I think it was like a 16-hour journey because this thing kept breaking down. He ended up, it's in one of our videos, he ended up driving off before we were ready one time and crashed our van into a lorry and just basically wrote the thing off. Yeah, it was a nightmare. But he was a character. Like, he was such a character. It's hilarious. And we should have known because he was pissed and he was smoking a load of weed. And we were like, it's just Africa, man. Like, I guess it's just how it goes down. And then, so he crashed our van. I was kind of pissed about it because it's going to cost loads of money. And then he came and just offered us some like the shittest weed you've ever seen. Kind of gave it to us, and I was like, "Fuck it, mate."
Yeah, at this point, like honestly, like I need this at this point.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, that was that.
Fucking decent, to be fair. What, for free? You didn't have to pay for it. I mean, it sounded like
he crashed my motor. Yeah, he crashed my motor, which cost me like $3. Yeah. And then when we got to, like, the geezer who had the audacity, yeah, it's so funny. The geezer had the audacity. He said to us like 100 quid. And then because his van kept breaking down, because his 4x4 kept breaking down, towing ours, it took us so long to get, like, we did an overnight stint getting to Brazzaville, which was supposed to take 2 hours.
There's no way that's a real
Brazzaville has to stop.
We got there, yeah, and the geezer wanted more money. I was like, lads, you've just basically written off my van. You took 16 hours to do a 2-hour job, and now you want more money. I was just like, you're funny.
Fuck you.
You're funny, bro.
Yeah, engine spot, but I got some weed there, man.
Some shite weed.
Oh, Brazzaville, yeah, there it is.
Congo Braz, yeah.
All right, let's go with one last time. Let me hear. All right. Here we go. Would you rather shit yourself in front of the London Marathon crowd on Tower Bridge, video goes viral, and you have to run the rest of the race with a shitty arse? Or a story gets leaked to the press that you actually got a 20-minute taxi as an alternative to running one point in the challenge? You're not allowed to disprove this allegation.
I'm firm in the first one, no problem. not even a problem.
Well, this was actually like a genuine, like you had like this weird running community like on the ropes at one point, and they were like, "Nah, you're not doing it."
Really? I didn't even see that.
No, there was a tweet one time, right, where someone was like, "It's mad impressive that he's done this." Someone replied saying, "Yeah, because he's driving the whole way in a van."
Yeah.
There was like proper.
The whole
they were
thing's
doing
on Strava.
Yeah,
I mean, fair play.
There's naturally when completing these type of challenges, there's always going to be.
Yeah,
what did you think to that RC statement that got released saying you're not even the first to do it?
Yeah. I mean, I didn't know about it until literally when I first heard about it was GMB the day after, and they said like, there's this guy that said he's ran the length of Africa first something. And I was like, well, unlikely, but like I was like, I don't know anything about it, so I'll just say like, you know, fair play, fair cop to the geezer, whatever. And then when I found out more about it, I was like, there's objective facts here. It's not like it's not like you can be like, oh, he ran the length is bottoms top.
And he can do that. What was it?
He went around Egypt,
right?
Down there.
Like, not
still impressive.
Still
crazy.
Like,
mate, unreal.
Jesper Ken Olsen from Denmark.
So basically, what's probably happened in my eyes, is when you actually look at World Runners Association, I think there's seven members. He's one of them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. They've given themselves the title of World Runners Association, but it's like me and you boys.
It's a WhatsApp
should
group
we
chat?
be like the world, like
state of that website?
Let's just be like the world, like Scranning Bear Food Association, and that we're well official.
Yeah.
We said we are. Kind of thing.
Exactly.
And I think ultimately what it probably is like, I don't know. I hadn't heard of this guy.
Yeah.
I'm sure he did like a world run or something. I'm sure it's bad impressive, but he's probably just like.
It's not
that Russ guy got well loads of publicity in at the end, and I didn't. Like that's I'm not having that.
Sounds like a skill issue.
Nah, because what the guy did was an impressive feat.
12K.
It just wasn't the achievement that
We're saying
you had done. It was not the same thing.
He just fucked his title and thumbnail.
That's it, man. That's it. All right, sick, man. I mean, look, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on here.
It's been sick, man.
I'm so glad that you made time for us. I really do appreciate it because I know. I mean, you're busy running with the Prime Minister and that, and you know things are a little different.
Cal and Chip over.
Yeah.
No, thank you for coming, bro.
What we do ask from every guest is a motivational quote.
A motivational.
You must have one.
It can be not motivational at all, but we need something.
Do you know what, I'm gonna take the words from my man Gus Van Veen and go, fuck you, fuck your feelings, you fucking dickhead.
Yeah,
finally.
Unreal. Thank you very much for coming on.
Thanks for coming,
where should people find you? Obviously, Strava's a pretty good start, but Instagram,
what is it? Hardest geezer everywhere.
Yeah, sick. I'm so excited for you to announce whatever's next for you, because I know right now you're probably thinking, oh, it's miles away, but I reckon in about like a month's time you're going to be itching to do whatever it is.
Yeah.
So I'm so excited. Look, again, once again, a massive congratulations, and big up everybody that managed to make it all the way through this, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.